What's good guys, my name is Oleg Nikitin from Russia with Love, you're watching No Limits on channel, and today we're having a review of AirPods Pro, Insta360 Go 2, a very interesting action camera, so let's review that. First of all, full disclosure, Insta360 did send me the camera and all of those accessories, but they don't get to preview the video before it's posted, and I will give you my honest thoughts and opinions.
Well guys, look at that. That's a lemon tree. See that? Cool, huh?
First of all, let me tell you that this is not your first camera or not your second, I mean A camera or B camera. It's a special camera, action camera and special purpose camera. And I have to admit that this camera has a very broad functionality thanks to the accessories we're having right here. So keep that in mind and we'll talk about all of the accessories in a few minutes. First of all, this lens has f2.2 aperture and 11.3mm field of view in full frame equivalent, and look at this case. It's a little bit bigger than the AirPods Pro and the camera itself is just tiny. Look at that. It's this small. It's the size of my thumb. Now it's even smaller than my thumb actually. So it's a great thing to have with you all the time, and especially during traveling. And I took this camera to Sochi city, to the Republic of Abkhazia, and also to the gym. So you'll be watching all of this footage during this review.
Look at this place, guys. It's just like magic, probably. Look at that.
The maximum resolution is 1440p, up to 50 frames a second, and also you can record 120 frames per second in full HD quality. The camera does have different modes, but my biggest suggestion is to use the Pro mode. It unlocks the special feature of this camera, we'll talk about it in a second, and also it provides you with the best image quality. And in the app you can program the only button on this camera, this one, to be the Pro mode start record and stop record, so you'll always be recording in Pro mode and don't accidentally record a lower quality footage in a normal video mode, for instance. The image quality in good lighting conditions in 1440p is more than enough for me for an action camera this small, so it's pretty okay.
That's pretty beautiful, but guys, actually we are stuck. This is our car, the Russian UAZ car, but we are stuck and we are having a huge traffic jam right here, and it's raining actually, and we are standing here for like 15 minutes already, and there is no sign of getting better. The engine just died.
You can definitely use this camera without a ton of accessories. So today I went to a gym to, pump up the muscles, and actually I was using only the case itself with the standing like mini tripod, this function right here. Also I was using the camera itself with its magnetic mount, and finally I was using the necklace, which is right here. It's magnetic and it attaches to your chest. Basically attaches the camera through the t-shirt to the necklace, and it was a really nice combo, and I got a ton of different angles and footage, so you don't actually need and have to buy a ton of accessories for this camera.
Russian sauna.
And since we're talking about the accessories, this is the box that it comes with, and here are the mounting abilities of this box. I mean of the kit in this box. So here we have a little case, which is the charging case itself, and also it has a mini tripod, as I said, 1/4-inch thread, also USB Type-C for charging and shipping your files to your computer. Also here we have a mini display, which is pretty nice, 2 buttons, record and mode button, and also it doubles as a charger right here. Also here we have the camera itself. It's a magnetic mount on the back, and also in the base kit we get this little clamp, which is a hat clamp, a cap clamp, so a small clamp, let me say, and it has an adjustable mechanism. Probably it's very loud at my microphone, which is here. So here we have a small adapter. with a strap, and you can carry it around with this small adapter. But the coolest thing is the adhesive, and it can be used multiple times, by the way. So if you wrap up the protector, you can stick it to any surface basically, and when it's not sticking anymore, you can wipe it up with something wet or just wash it, then dry it up, and then you can use it once again. So it's a great little thing, great tool, and I do like it. And if you don't use the adhesive on the back, it doubles as a small selfie stick, like so. Pretty nice one. You get a USB Type-C cable for charging, a cleaning cloth right here, and a necklace, which I've talked about earlier. And that's it for the basic kit. And now let's talk about all the other accessories that I have here, and you can buy those separately. So the accessories, let's start off with the biggest one. Here is the carrying case for all of your accessories. Here we have the special places for all of the accessories right here on the table, and here we have a special compartment which can fit a ton of different things, including the selfie stick right here. It's a pretty bulky case, to be honest. Let me do like so you can see the name, but it's a very good quality case, and I definitely do recommend if you buy a ton of accessories for your Insta360. The second thing is the selfie stick right here, and it's a very good quality selfie stick. It's a pretty long selfie stick, as you can see right here, probably 80 centimeters, and it's very stiff and sturdy, and I really like the quality. We have a 1/4 inch right here and a 1/4 inch right here, so we can use it as it is, as a selfie stick, or to just raise up your camera. So it's a very good quality selfie stick, I do recommend it. If you're familiar with GoPro accessories, here we have the plate. This is the flat one, and here we have the connection point, and also we have a curved one right here. It's a curved one, and we have some adhesive right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can stick it up there and use it to mount it to a car or somewhere else. And we have a special locking mechanism and the camera holder thing itself. We have a second one here, the white one if you want, and also the locking mechanism, which is like this, the same as GoPros use. And then we have a little pivot mount, which allows you to mount the camera to a stand with a 1/4 inch thread and basically tilt it to any direction, which is also nice. So guys, as you can see, we have a ton of mounting options and accessories, and you'll be definitely fine with this broad kit. So it has some drawbacks and disadvantages in terms of mounting, but I'll talk a little bit about it in a few minutes. Yeah, it's a pretty long review, guys. I'm very sorry that I say all the time we'll talk about it in a few minutes, in a few seconds, but I'm kind of chasing myself in this term, so my apologies for it. Let's go further. A lot of people prefer to shoot this kind of activities with their phones, especially with iPhone 13 Pro Max, for instance, with the ultra-wide camera. And here's the comparison between the Go 2 and the iPhone 13 Pro Max ultra-wide. Yeah, I do prefer the picture of iPhone 13 Pro Max a little bit more, but you cannot put your iPhone right here or shoot some action like you can with this little camera. And it's a pretty powerful package if you know what you're doing with this camera. Speaking about Pro mode versus normal mode, I shot some shots actually in the city of Moscow, in the downtown during the Christmas time, and as you can see, it's a pretty low light situation. It's not the best quality footage, but it's hard to get a good quality footage from such small sensors like smartphones, action cameras in those lighting conditions. So it's more than okay to me, but I do prefer the Pro mode. It gives me some abilities to tweak the picture in post. Please do use this mode if you are happy enough to get this camera once. Well, it's not a low light camera, as I've mentioned before, and you also get some artifacts of stabilization. This camera needs 1/400th of a second shutter speed to properly stabilize your footage without those ghosting artifacts. So be careful in low light situations and try not to run a lot with this camera, or not to, point it like crazy to all of the things. Just be gentle and precise, and the footage will be more than okay. But if you are doing something very fast, it's gonna be a total mess of ghosting and blur, and just don't do like so, please.
It's raining and we're coming to a waterfall. They say it's a giant waterfall and it's beautiful, but guys, It's not really comfortable to be here. Look at that.
So guys, since my advice is to shoot in pro mode, let's talk about the limitations of this mode. First of all, it's a 10-minute limit, so you cannot shoot more than 10 minutes in this mode. It will stop recording after 10 minutes, so it's not for very long takes. That's the first thing. The second thing is the overheating issue, because after 10 minutes of shooting in pro mode in 1440p, especially in 50 frames per second, it's getting hot and it overheats and turns off, which is a pity. So I was using this camera like so. I was doing some short bursts. Here is one shot, there is one shot, etc. And in such case, it's more than okay. Like in gym, I just took one shot with, I don't know, with one equipment, then I went to other, did some pull-ups, then I went to other, did some other exercises. And in this term, this camera is awesome. It doesn't overheat, it has enough storage for me. But if you do long takes, it's not gonna be a camera for you, unfortunately.
Well guys, we're almost here.
And about the battery life. In pro mode, you'll get around 25 minutes from this unit itself, but it will overheat, as I said, in 10 minutes, so it's kind of 25 minutes of split takes. So you go there, you shoot something, then after 5 minutes you shoot something else, after 5 minutes you shoot something else, and in total you get 25 minutes of footage. And if you are using the case, you'll get around 1 hour of recording. And for me, it means that I can take this camera for a couple of days and have a ton of footage shot. For instance, like here in Abkhazia, we went to waterfalls and I didn't take my big camera with me. It was pretty rainy and slippery and all that stuff. And I just took some shots of the waterfall, then I took some shots of myself talking to you guys. So for this scenario, this camera is more than okay, and I had no issues carrying it around with me without charging for like 2 or 3 days. But once again, if you do need a ton of footage and a lot of shooting time, this might not be the best choice. So the memory is built into the camera itself, so you have 28 gigs of usable storage, and it's around 45 minutes in 1440p, 25 frames per second pro mode and high bitrate. And also there is a version of this camera with 64 gigs, you can pay extra $30 and get 64 gigs, and around 58 will be usable for you and your storage, your videos. So there are two main limitations, the storage and the shooting time, I mean the overheating issue. So this camera is really designed for short bursts, for smaller takes. And that's the case in my case, actually, because I do prefer this kind of shooting. I hate doing with, I don't know, 10 minutes of the same footage like I'm riding a motorcycle or something. I don't need 10 minutes. I need 15 seconds here, 15 seconds there, and then I can make a short video for you guys, for instance. By the way, the camera itself, this little guy, is waterproof, IPX6, and you can go down underwater for 3 meters. But this case, the charging case, is not waterproof, so first you can dry out the camera, make it dry first, and then put it to the case, because this is not waterproof. So guys, as you might have noticed, this camera gives you a lot of freedom and creative capabilities. And if you want to see the full potential of this camera, I highly suggest you watch a video by my one of favorites YouTube creators and filmmakers, Philip Bloom. I'll leave a link down below, and he's obsessed with this camera, and this video is just awesome. So after watching this video, if you're still here and you like the content, go there and give a Philip shout out from Russia with love from No Limits on channel. That we really appreciate it, guys. So let's move on. As I said before, the mounting options are not the best ones. So here is the only mount that can secure the camera very strongly, and it's not going anywhere. If you're even touching it like crazy and trying to kick it out of the mount, I just hit record once again. You put it into the clamp like so, and then you have to put it out of it. It's not the most convenient way first, because most of the time you simply put it like so, and it's just magnets to the mount. But this mount, since it's sturdy, yes, but you can actually lose the camera. But like so, it's pretty sturdy. But if it bumps into something, something is gonna fall off. So it's not the best choice for mountain biking or some kind of, you know, action sport when it shakes a lot. So you have to buy an additional accessory that fixes it into place in a very strong way. Привет, зайчик. Сейчас я тебя поцелую и дальше можно тихонько. Ладно? Все, хорошо, давай. Dodge. So guys, now let's talk about the app. Of course, you can monitor your picture right here, and in Pro mode, if I tilt the camera, it stays leveled all the time. Oh no, it's in Pro video, I said. Yeah, in Pro video, you see, I twist the camera, but it stays leveled. It keeps the horizon leveled, which is cool. So here we have different modes like time-lapse mode, time shift, even HDR video, slow motion, even live streaming, which we don't need actually. Then we have the video mode, the standard one, the photos, night shots, interval, and even star lapse with huge exposures. I don't know, ISO from 3200 to 100. Then the shutter, the white balance, everything is actually tweakable, if I can say so. So let's get to Pro Video once again. Here we can change the standard, the vivid color, or the log even, which I am not recommending to use. Standard is more than enough. We have really compressed footage to work with log. Here we can change the view, but we also can do it in post. So actually you can see my microphone up there, but you can't see it like so. I do prefer the linear or narrow if I do need it, but it's pretty, you know, cropped in and the quality is not the best. So linear is the best one in my opinion. Also here we have our resolution, the frame rate, and the aspect ratio, which is changeable in post even, which is also cool. So here we have the album, and as you can see, I was swimming right here. We can check the footage and we can do a lot of different things. It's not as fast because it's 1440p, 50 frames per second, but actually we can tap and hold to scroll, or even tap and hold to change the frame. And as you can see, we have some black spots, so it's not like totally 360, but you can change the angle a little bit like so. Also, we can add some effects, and we can add different modes of view. We have once again the change of aspect ratio, face filters, music even, different adjustments. We can download the clip, we can export the clip, and so on. And if we go to stories mode, we can even create a story out of different frames, for instance 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get flash cut. We change, we choose the duration, let it be 6 seconds, and it will pre-process it for us. It will change the music, it will pick the music for you, and actually make some transitions and all that stuff. That's my wife's butt, to be honest. And yeah, it's pretty laggy right here because I'm screen recording as well, but you can export it and it will be downloaded to your phone's main album, which is great. So guys, overall the app is just great and it has a ton of functionality, and I did enjoy using this app for sure, so big thumbs up for the app. It's a little laggy from time to time, but overall no complaints. So guys, now I'm recording the screen of my computer, and let's go to the Insta360 Studio app for your Mac computer or PC. So here is the Insta360 camera. Here I have all of the files. We simply drag and drop those and it will kind of work with the footage, as you can see right here. It's a pretty fast process since this is a USB Type-C connection with USB 3.0 if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's not 3.0, but it's pretty fast, and that's my nice face right here. So here you can delete a file if you don't need it. Simply go right here and delete. Also, we can take this one, for instance, and we can go through this file like so. As you can see, I'm trying my best in this kind of stuff, and we can adjust the angle just press and you can just do it like so. Also, we can change the aspect ratio for stories, for instance, like so, or do the square, like so. Let's keep it back. Here also we can trim the video, so we simply trim it like this. Nothing too crazy. We can adjust the speed, we can double time it if we want to. We can add motion blur for this part. As you can see here, motion blur. We can change the speed duration like 2 times, 4 times, etc., or just delete the fast movement. Then we also have, if we go here, we have the flow state stabilization, which I suggest using all the time. We also have the FPV stabilization, but it doesn't really make any sense to me, at least. So FPV means that it will be in the, as you can see, as it was. And the flow state is keeping the horizon leveled all times. So when I switched it to this mode, as you can see, the horizon is still leveled and I do my thing, pumping up. My hands are so weird on this shot. So let's keep going. Here we have the angle view. As I said, I do prefer linear for this term. We have aqua vision for underwater shots, and it will change the color of your shots. Also, we have true audio or action focus or voice focus. I guess it's pretty okay for just a true audio. We can save the project, we can watch the data about the file, and then we can export this file right here. We can set the bitrate, we can set the file path also, we can change it even up to 422 ProRes, which is great, and then we can export or add it to a queue. Also, we can batch export the files, which is nice. We can select all of the files and we can hit the right click, start export, and here we can set the bitrate, which is high. We can select H.265, for instance, add flow state stabilization, or we can choose FPV for all of the clips. We can make remove grain, for instance, if you are shooting at night, and it will remove grain. Decent job, but I don't recommend it anyway. Don't use color plus for sure. We can change the aspect ratio right here for all of those clips. We can change the file path and start export, and it will export all the batch one by one, which is great. So basically you can work with each clip individually, or you can just batch export those pro videos and then open those in Final Cut and work with normal footage, which is great and versatile, and overall it's a pretty simple but really worthy app, and it's free, by the way. So once again, thumbs up for the Studio app. This thing irritates me a lot. You have to all the time press this button to reconnect the camera in the case. Why isn't it connected by default when you open the case? Insta360 do something with it. When it's out of the case and it has to be connected, I do understand it, but if it's in the case, why? And now let's talk about the price. It costs $270 on B&H, which is a lot for an action camera, and you can buy something like Sony X3000 for those money, but actually it's a little different purpose. As a small action camera or interesting point of view camera, this is a no-brainer because of the size, the weight, the versatility, the functionality, the accessories, even with this base combo right here. So in my opinion, it's really worth it, especially if you get a couple of accessories as well. But if you want like a first camera, like a camera, it's not an A camera. It's not even a vlogger's camera. It's an additional spices for your videos. Some interesting angles, some cool shots, something unpredictable, let me say. And for those types of things, it says Chase Adventure on the box itself. And I think this is what it's all about. It's about the adventure, it's about the passion, as Philip Bloom said, about the creativity. And in this term, I do love this camera. And it really inspired me that I decided to make a video, like a POV video of a photographer, like in a Doom game or first point shooter game. So if you're into this and you want me to do this, smash the like and subscribe buttons, as I say in my videos. And also if you did enjoy this video, guys, and hit the notifications bell to see more videos that I do on a regular basis, guys. My name is Oleg Nikitin from Russia with Love. You are watching No Limits On channel, and I hope you did enjoy this video, guys, because it's been a very long time. I'm recording for 1 hour straight right now, but I do record simultaneously the Russian channel and the English one, so it's doubles. Whew, pretty long day, pretty good camera in my opinion, interesting one. So guys, take care. And I see you in the next video. You can watch a couple of videos right here as well after this one. And after that, go to Philip Bloom's video as well. Take care, guys. Bye.